Hey Scrapbook friends, this is Michelle at michellesizemore.com. That has one L in my first name if you're looking for me on my website. I'm a Creative Memories Advisor, and today you'll learn how to make this easy layout using the Golden Harvest collection. It's our Fall 2025 collection. I think it is so pretty, and this is super easy to make. So I'm just going to make one page because they're basically mirror images of each other. So we're going to start with this fence punch, which is new, and I'm going to cut it out of white cardstock. I've got another idea showing it with brown, and I'll show you that at the end. It's a pretty page too. Okay, so we're going to open this up, put our cardstock in here, and start at that black line right there. That's how we start with these border punches. I want to hold it tight so it doesn't slip and it's straight against this little raised area here and punch. I'm going to bring it down, line up my pattern to where the blue is completely covered. That is where you know it's time to punch again. Hold it firm so it doesn't slip and punch. I'm going to clear out my scraps. And look, I missed one. So I'm going to go back and fix that. I did that a couple of other times with this punch. I don't know why it's so easy to do. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. Nope. Let me get it in there. So just goes to show if that happens, you can just put it back in and punch. I could tell that worked that time. Okay, so now I'm going to line it up again. And punch. Clear out my scraps. It's good to clear out your scraps when you're using this after every couple of punches because sometimes they get clogged up in there and make it hard to use the punch. Clear my scraps. Okay, I think I just have one more punch here. I do. Okay, get all my scraps out of the way. And looking at these scraps, I just want to say this. This reminds me of like a torn spiral notebook paper. You know, when you tear your paper out of a spiral bound notebook. We actually have a border maker cartridge that's similar to that. So if you wanted to make it look like a school page and like you ripped out a piece of paper, you could put it on some ruled paper. And I don't know, that's just an idea I had when I first looked at that. I probably honestly won't do it, but it was just a thought. Okay, so I'm going to start with this orange paper from the Grateful Harvest Designer Paper Collection. And my fence border is going to go here, but before that, I need to cut some green for my bottom. It just kind of looks like grass down there. I'm going to cut it at about 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to mount that down first. Just put some repositionable tape runner on there. Put that on the very bottom. Okay, and then this is a laser cut border that comes with this collection. I love these because all the work is done for you and they're so pretty. So I'm just going to put that right there. Okay, I'm just going to put some repositionable tape runner on the bottom of this, and I'll show you why in a minute. Well, let's see. Let me just sort of position this before I do. I want this to go over the grass, but I want it to be, the bottom to be completely covered with this. Yeah, so there we go. I want this to be about right there. I am going to take a pencil line and just draw a faint line where the top of this fence should be. Yeah, and then I'm going to mount this at the end. So I'm going to grab my mat that repels my repositionable tape runner, and I'm going to put it on the back here in just little dabs all the way across. Just got a little something stuck to it on the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to look at my pencil lines that I drew and just make sure the top of the fence lines up with that and line it up with the sides. There we go. Super easy. And then I'm going to add this on top. And then my border is done. I mean, I love these borders because they're so easy. I do want some more of that green to show. Like these are laying in the grass, and that gives it a nice little pop of color. Yeah, about that much. That's not enough fence though. Okay, here we go. About that much. There we go. I like that. So that's all I had to do for that border. And next, I'm going to grab this variety. This is from the variety mat pack that goes with Grateful Harvest. And I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to, this left-hand side dotted line is where the blade comes down. So I want this middle part to line up as close to that as I can. Hopefully exactly right on it. So I can do a perfect cut. Let me go to, okay, so I'm going to look at this little, this is a little clear thing that tucks away at the top. And there's also one at the bottom. It has a straight line right here. And you can follow the line and just look and make sure it doesn't, yeah, it's going to cut off all of that plaid, so that's good. See, that was perfect. It's great. All right, so I would mount that onto some brown cardstock, and I need to get that. I'll be right back. Oh, goodness, sorry. Yeah, here we go. I thought I had everything, but I did not. So I'm going to measure, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to freehand this. Sometimes I try to be exact with my trimmer. Sometimes if it's a small thing, I'll just freehand it. I'm going to line it up to where I like it on the side and the top. And then just take my scissors and cut it. I can do a pretty straight cut. If you don't want to do that, you can measure it on your trimmer and cut it 1/4 of an inch bigger than what you're mounting on top of it. Give it a little matte look. You can already see I need to clean it up just a little. Sometimes I can do this right the first time, and then sometimes I have to go clean. Okay, that's fine. All right, and so that's how I do that. And then I would mount that right there. And then I would just add my photos. And this shows you the measurements of the photos. I had to be a little exact on this, 6 by 3 and 10/16. I'm usually not that exact, but I wanted it to kind of have the same sight lines all the way around, so I had to be a little bit more intricate. And then these are 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. And then I did turn it into a 2-page layout. I do like a 2-page layout. I love to open up my book and just everything match and go together. I like that. So I would probably put these in some top loading pages in my Creative Memories album. And then they would be side by side. And then I could actually scrap on the other side if I wanted to. And if I didn't want to scrap on that, I could put a piece of cardstock behind it or another piece of paper and just put 2 pieces of paper back to back. But that is a super duper easy layout. Now I'm going to show you the same layout in different colors. I think this one is actually my favorite, but I've already shown so many things today using this gold paper that I thought I would switch it up and show you some orange. I just love this yellow gold paper. So this is it. Same technique with a brown fence, and I added a journal box and I did a vertical card here. So, but same layout, different look. I love taking a sketch or a layout and changing it up and making it look different. And then I did add some die cuts from the collection here. Thank y'all for watching my video and hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.